back in that bag again. Whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. Hey. Back in that, yeah. Tell them to watch it. Now I ain't talking my pockets. Just know we ain't running out the way that we stock it. If I got it, you got it. If I call it, she slide and tell her to mop it. Yeah, I got that on. Then she took that thing off and bring it around. Going at it till I'm on. Put that 90 in a hole. I'm beating it down. I'm back in that bag again. Whoa, whoa. Oh, say less. I'm back in that bag again. Yeah. Oh, say less. I'm back in that. Yeah. What you doing? Yeah. I'm back in that. Hey, where you going?
Hey, back in that bag again. Don't bring me around your friends. You know that I'm bagging them. Request me on Facebook. No, I ain't adding them. Positions I had her in. Hit from the back, that was splattering. Calling her friend, tell her pull up. Word, let's make it a gathering. They
I
loving
said,
the
baby,
swagger.
nah, I'm Matic now, but she loving the splash again. I just be cashing in her buns, just like a wedding, I'm crashing in. Hundreds on hundreds, I'm moving and grooving.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So what I have here today is the LG 240Hz monitor, and I also have the Samsung OLED G8. The LG 240Hz monitor is my main monitor that I use on a daily basis, but I also did buy this OLED G8. I've been using the OLED G8 for 2 to 3 weeks now, so I just want to compare them both and give you guys my opinion. Off the bat, one monitor is 27 inches and the other monitor is 34 inches. However, they are both OLED and they're both 1440p. As far as port goes, they both have DisplayPort 1.4. They both have HDMI 2.1. Which is really cool, is because if you're a console gamer, you can definitely connect your console here and enjoy a high refresh rate. One thing Samsung has over the LG is they have USB-C with power draw, so that means you can definitely connect your laptop and have a one cable solution. The LG has a coax cable on the back, so what it means is you can connect your soundbar. I don't think Samsung has a coax jack, however you can still connect a soundbar in here, but you'll have to use the HDMI port. So one thing about the Samsung ports, it came with mini DisplayPort and a micro HDMI, which is kind of unfortunate because you need to have its own cord for it. Thank God in the box there is a mini DisplayPort cable. However, there is no HDMI cable, so you need to go ahead and get a micro HDMI 2.1 cable, or if you have an adapter, you could definitely use that. However, when I'm using the adapter, when I'm connected to a dock, my screen turns black once in a while and it looks like it's hunting for a signal, so I would definitely just go ahead and buy a cord. As far as controls, both these monitors have a remote, which is pretty cool. However, props here to Samsung for giving us a joystick. You can also control your Samsung monitor with a joystick from the back with LG. If you lose this remote or you break this remote, there is no way to control your monitor other than volume up, volume down, and switching inputs. Props to Samsung for being more intuitive and giving us a joystick in the back and being able to control this monitor without a remote. When it comes to text clarity, I'm probably the worst example out here just because I'm not sensitive to text fringing and I honestly can't even see it. But if I pixel peeped really hard, the Samsung definitely has sharper text. As far as coating, so the LG has a matte coating, but I'll be honest with you guys, it's not as bad as what people say it is. This matte coating is probably one of the best. It's not one of those ugly matte coatings that it looks like you're rubbing Vaseline all over the screen. This is not too bad. However, when it comes to the Samsung, this is a semi-gloss coating. It's not like the LG C2, however, it is still glossy. And this is probably one of the best coatings I've ever seen in a monitor. As far as brightness goes, LG only goes up to 200 nits, and Samsung claims it goes all the way up to 250. However, when using this in real life, the LG is actually bright enough. Like, I have no complaints using that monitor. However, after using the Samsung monitor for 3 weeks, I just got used to the Samsung brightness. And when I came back to the LG monitor, I was so disappointed that I was actually wishing that this monitor was a little bit brighter. But regardless, like I said, if you get used to it, it's honestly not a bad experience. As far as colors, the advantage here goes to Samsung. It's definitely more vibrant because it's QD OLED. It has the newer technology. And I think it's because it's way brighter and it also has a gloss coating. So how I would explain colors is for Samsung, it's like turning up the slider in NVIDIA control panel for digital vibrance. But in the dark room where light is controlled, the LG actually really has good colors. So if you had an LG, just make sure you control your lights. If you're in a very bright room, the colors won't be as vibrant. However, when it turns nighttime, they're honestly the same. Here you can actually also see the colors, how the Samsung is brighter. Like this one's already 100% brightness. And then this one right here is still at, I think, 32. Let's see if we can turn out the brightness more. There you go. So that's max brightness in the Samsung. So you can definitely see like what I was talking about earlier, that the Samsung is way brighter. However, this is honestly not that bad on the left. One thing to note, I just noticed that the Samsung Reds are so red that it doesn't even look like it's red. But compared to LG, the Samsung Reds are definitely, it's red. It's crazy how red the Samsung Reds are. And I'm sure if you don't like that, you can probably just adjust that in the monitor to just reduce the red. Because like when I'm seeing those reds, it's crazy. But I digress. As far as productivity, Samsung wins over here, and just because of the screen size. So 34 inches is really cool if you like multi-screens. So splitting it down the middle gives you a lot more workspace than having a 27-inch. So if productivity is important to you and you can only have one monitor, I would definitely go with the Samsung 34-inch just because of the screen size. However, if you do dual monitors, then this doesn't even matter anyways. So as far as refresh rate, the LG can do 12-bit 240Hz if you do HDMI 2.1. The Samsung can do 12-bit 175Hz if you also use HDMI 2.1. If you're using the DisplayPort cable, the LG goes to 240Hz at 10-bit, and the Samsung goes to 175Hz and 10-bit. And to be honest with you, I can't tell the difference of 10-bit and 12-bit, so I just use my DisplayPort, and it's a very good experience. When it comes to response times, both these monitors are OLED, so they have really good response times. I think both of them claim that they're below 0.03. So with that said, when testing the UFO motion blur test, both these monitors perform really well, and you can't see any ghosting, trailing, and everything is just really smooth. So let's talk about smart integration. The LG is actually just a monitor. It's a basic monitor. You just plug and play, connect it to your PC. And the Samsung monitor has a little bit of tricks up its sleeve. So before it's even a monitor, it also acts like a TV. It has smart integration to it, which means you have Tizen TV and Samsung Game Hub. So what it means is you can go ahead and launch Netflix, Hulu, Disney, HBO, and YouTube, and you can stream all your favorite contents off the TV itself. You don't need to turn on the computer. If that's important to you, then again, the Samsung's better here, as it acts like a one solution if you don't have a TV in your studio or creative space. As far as preventative care, I think both these monitors are really good. They do have their image cleaning and pixel cleaning, and this usually happens when you turn off your monitor, and it will let you know when it's done. Now let's talk about the most important part, or for me at least, is gaming performance. Both of these monitors are what I believe the two best monitors out there at current market. On the other hand, one has 240Hz but has slightly lower brightness, and the other monitor has 175Hz with a higher brightness. When playing my main game Valorant, this does not support ultra-wide aspect ratio, so you have to deal with black bars on the side. This used to bother me, but I'm used to it now. Alright guys, so I duplicated my screens. So in theory, you can play Valorant, this monitor, the OLED G8. However, the models are stretched out. Let's see. Like on the right, I mean, I guess if you like stretch models, they're a lot fatter on the right side. But I really like tall models, so. But yeah, I guess if you really wanted to just play Valorant for sure, you could definitely just stretch out these models like this. And some people might actually prefer it this way, but I like the 69 aspect ratio when playing Valorant. After I got used to it, I started to perform similar. Yes, the LG is 240Hz and should be more responsive, but when playing games, I honestly can't tell the difference. I do say, when playing games in the LG, it looks way sharper than the Samsung. What I like about the Samsung monitor is the overall immersiveness and the colors. When looking at the Samsung monitor in HDR, it looks like you turned up the digital vibrance in the NVIDIA control panel. This might be because it's QD OLED and it has a semi-gloss screen. This definitely gives you a wow factor when playing games. The LG is also really good as long as you play in a well-controlled room. The experience with both these monitors are honestly really good, and I wouldn't fret if I owned either one of them. Alright, so let's talk about who should get this monitor. So if productivity is needed in your everyday life, if you're a casual gamer and you want the best immersive experience, you want the best colors, and really good picture quality, with the only sacrifice here is the slower refresh rate, I would go with the Samsung OLED G8. And this is especially true if the games you play supports ultra-wide. And now on the other hand, if you play super competitive games like Valorant, CSGO, where most of them doesn't really support the 21:9 aspect ratio, and you need maximum focus to win your games, then I would definitely pick the LG. Just because the monitor is a little bit smaller, so you are able to see corners and you're able to see enemies a lot faster. And it's a plus that you just have a higher refresh rate. So that's my comparison of these monitors. So could you guys let me know which one you guys are going to keep? Because honestly, I love both these monitors. So as of right now, I'm going to keep my LG. However, I am waiting for the Samsung Odyssey G9. Just because I know that it checks off most of my boxes. You get like USB-C for your laptop. And you also get OLED, QD OLED, and 240Hz. So, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and keep my LG. But what about you guys? What are you guys keeping? Let me know down below. And that's it for me, guys. If you like this video, please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, as it truly helps the algorithm. And I'm trying to create more videos like this, and I'm also trying to get to 1K subs by the end of the year. And if you're still here, thanks again. Like I said from my last video, I truly appreciate you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.